Jenny and Sumit are one of the most controversial couples on 90 Day Fiancé franchise. Despite the age gap, cultural taboos, and parental disapproval, Jenny and Sumit managed to stay together for over 10 years now. In this video, we will establish the full timeline of their relationship. We will then talk about the recent developments in Sumit and Jenny's relationship. Jenny and Sumit first started talking to each other in 2011. At the time, Jenny was 53 and Sumit was 23. Before meeting Sumit, Jenny was married for 15 years and her husband left her for another woman. She didn't think she would find another love in her life until one day she received a DM from Michael Jones. Initially, Jenny thought a hot young Englishman wouldn't be interested in her at all and it was likely a scam. And she was right. Michael Jones was in fact Sumit from India. Michael Jones's Facebook profile can be still found online. There, he professed his love for Jenny. He was claiming that he was working in Seattle, Washington, and was complaining about the weather. Sumit ultimately confessed he was behind Michael Jones's persona. But Jenny was already enamored and found Sumit to be even cuter than Michael. Interestingly, before 90 Day Fiancé, Jenny and Sumit tried to go on MTV Catfish reality show, due to the fact that he catfished her. The online romance first started on Facebook, shifted to Skype. Sumit said he didn't mind the huge age difference between the two, and Jenny looked great for her age. After 1.5 years of online romance, Jenny confessed to Sumit she could no longer continue the long-distance relationship without even seeing him. She had traveled to India to meet Sumit for the very first time. Sumit's parents hosted Jenny at their house, where she had a separate room. Jenny made friends with his mom, and the women got along quite well.
She's his
इंडिया घूमने आई थी
Facebook friend, and she want to visit India. She want to live with us. I said okay. 2-3 days or 1 week.
तो 4 महीने तक मेरे साथ रही थी अच्छे से रखा मैंने उसे खूब प्यार दिया उसको
That was until the parents noticed Sumit was sneaking into Jenny's room and he was too close to her. Indeed, Jenny took Sumit's virginity during her stay.
I haven't done anything wrong to their son. What, I took his virginity? There's no law against that.
The parents report that they were furious. The age difference was simply not acceptable for them. Both Jenny and Sumit revealed interesting information about her 4-month stay in India in 2013. According to Jenny, the parents didn't mind her relationship with Sumit at all, as long as he was to immigrate to the United States. However, as Jenny was low income, she only wanted to live in India.
His mother told me at that time to take him to America and marry him in America because she didn't want to see the marriage in front of her, meaning society. So take him to America and marry him there. But unfortunately, that never happened because of financial reasons. I could never afford to do it. So his mom even sent us to the American embassy to find out what we needed to do to get married.
Sumit also confessed that he didn't realize how old Jenny actually looked like. According to Sumit, back then the cameras were of low quality and he was surprised how old she actually looked like in real life. Despite that, he still continued his relationship with her. After 4 months in India, Jenny returned to the United States and told her friends and family that she and Sumit were done. Well, in fact, they still continued their online romance. Around 2017, Sumit's parents arranged a marriage for him. According to Sumit, he barely knew his wife prior to the wedding. Sumit confessed that he was trying to make his marriage work for the first year.
It's not like that I want to marry. It's not like that I want to be with her. I got married, and after that, I tried. Didn't work out.
You're saying for the first year of your marriage, you tried. You tried to stay in that marriage. You tried to be good in that marriage. Your father-in-law said when he was here,
Yeah.
she was happy the first year.
That's
You
what
were
I'm
good the
saying.
first
That's what
year.
I'm saying. Sometimes they say that she was happy in 4 years. Like,
So you were never good to her, and you never tried.
I did try.
Nonetheless, Sumit never stopped talking to Jenny. In 2018, Jenny arrived in India with TLC crew. Her intention was to move to India permanently. Prior to her move, Jenny left her job at the resort and said goodbye to her family. She only had $6,000 in savings, and her financial advisor told her she will be unable to collect Social Security in India. Jenny was optimistic she could find work in India though. In the meantime, Sumit arranged a love nest for him and Jenny, renting a two-bedroom apartment in New Delhi for $350 a month. Before Jenny landed in India, Sumit went to his parents to tell them he is leaving to work in Mumbai. TLC crew was not present during the conversation that took over an hour, as Sumit wanted to keep the filming in secret. Looking at this episode in the retrospect, Sumit probably had this conversation with his wife as well, so naturally they were all baffled as to why Sumit would leave to another city. At first, Jenny's stay in India with Sumit went well, and the couple spent a lot of time together. They even were seeking advice on whether they can marry without the parental approval. They were advised that while they can get married, all the correspondence would come at Sumit's registered address to his parents' house. In the meantime, Sumit's father started growing suspicions about Sumit's whereabouts. He had requested that Sumit shares his live location to prove he is in Mumbai. Due to the suspicions, Sumit had to return to his parents and probably his wife. The next time he came back to Jenny, who was all alone in India and was not able to communicate with the locals, she started to suspect she might be a side chick. But Sumit dismissed her concerns.
I mean, I feel like I'm your mistress or your little sidekick or something. Like,
No, it's not like that. Who said that? And what makes you think like that? You're
because
Mr.
you're hiding me. Because you're hiding me from everybody. You know, in America, when a husband has a mistress, you know what he does? He rents an apartment for her and he keeps her in that apartment and he hides her from her whole family. And he comes over and has his fun with her and gives her money.
To hear her use that word mistress, it's not like that at all. This is not the way I ever feel for you.
After Sumit returned to Jenny from his parents, he met her daughter and daughter-in-law and announced to them that they are going to have a ring ceremony. But soon after, Sumit's father-in-law tracked him down to his and Jenny's love nest. With the help of Sumit's parents, he was taken away from Jenny. The camera crew at the moment was not in the country, and they rushed back to India to film the aftermath. At this point, Jenny was in the country for 5 months. For the time being, Sumit was forbidden to talk to Jenny by his family. Once he was allowed though, he came forward to Jenny. She was definitely unhappy he lied to her all these years and had her come to India and spend all of her savings, knowing full well they can't get married. Nonetheless, she forgave him and the couple made up. Shortly after that, Jenny had to return to the US as her visa was expiring. Once Sumit has promised he is going to divorce his wife, Jenny came back to India for the second season of 90 Day Fiancé the other way, 5 months after she had returned to the United States. Sumit's divorce process didn't go smoothly. Initially, his wife's family accused him of beating his wife to get him to stay married to her or pay them more money. Eventually, the allegations were thrown away, but Sumit's family still had to pay a hefty price of $20,000 in alimony, which Sumit promised to give them back eventually. Despite Sumit's parents being okay with the divorce, they said they would still object Sumit marrying Jenny via legal means. However, Jenny and Sumit consulted a lawyer who confirmed that if the parents did object, Jenny and Sumit could pursue an Arya Samaj marriage, a temple-based ceremony, and something his parents cannot interfere with. Sumit's parents, Sahna and Anil, later visited Jenny and Sumit at their house. Sumit's parents refused to accept Jenny as their daughter-in-law, and the conversation turned into an explosive argument. Sahna threatened Sumit, saying she would commit suicide if he married Jenny. The couple failed to get married, but things still ended on a decent note in the second season. Sumit expressed his love for Jenny despite his parents' disapproval. After so many years, the 32-year-old professed his commitment to Jenny and gave her a promise ring. Even though it wasn't an engagement ring, Jenny was really happy. After the second season, Jenny and Sumit confronted his parents on 90 Day Barzol. Sahna and Anil once again blasted Jenny's looks and expressed their disapproval for the relationship.
We also expect The wife of Sumit should be good looking.
Ah!
Makeup hides the age of everyone. Most of the film stars do makeup and they look quite young.
Oh my God. My makeup hides my age. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Sumit's brother Amit also said he would like for Jenny and Sumit to break up due to the parental disapproval. Season 3 of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way started filming around November 2020 when Jenny turned 63. At the beginning of the season, Jenny reveals she was able to extend her visa every month due to COVID, but this time it was not extended. Jenny and Sumit plan to leave India temporarily and come back after a few months, but Sumit reveals he does not have his passport and he cannot travel. Later, it turned out that Jenny was able to extend her visa for another month, but the couple decided to start exploring other options for her to stay in India. At the beginning of 2021, Jenny and Sumit went for a vacation to Goa. There is no evidence that Jenny had left India for the required time. This might indicate that Jenny indeed married Sumit in secret to stay in the country, or she stayed in India on a missionary visa.
So, is there any option?
You have only one technical option.
Only one.
ISKCON
SCON.
missionary visa.
He's saying like you have to join SCON. You know what is SCON?
No.
ISKCON is International Society of Krishna Consciousness. You must be heard about the people singing Hare Rama, Hare Krishna.
At the end of April 2021, Jenny and Sumit were diagnosed with COVID-19. Despite being in high-risk groups, they managed to get better. Fans noticed that since their recovery, Sumit and Jenny have taken up healthier choices with food and yoga. And some have noticed that the ex-call center employee has even lost weight. Around that time, Sumit's mom Sahna moved in with Sumit and Jenny. According to Jenny, Sahna started to come around the idea of marriage of the star-crossed lovers. She wanted to test whether Jenny would be a good spouse for Sumit. In a recent interview to Entertainment Tonight, Jenny seemed to speak kindly of Sahna. It looks like much of the resentment between the two is now gone.
That's why my mom will gonna come to our house, live together, and let's see. This is her idea to come together and see how Jenny can be a good wife or a kid.
I think it'll come around. I mean, I'm hopeful that it will happen.
You were done with Sumit's parents. You were over them. But now when you speak about them, you know, that anger really isn't there. So where does your relationship stand with his parents?
Well, a lot has happened. So a lot has happened, and some improvements have been made.
Presently, Sumit and Jenny are unemployed and are still living in India. 90 Day Fiancé fans are divided when it comes to their opinion on Jenny and Sumit's relationship. Some argue that Sumit should find a younger woman, considering cultural ramifications and his parents' opinion. Others argue that Sumit is a pathological liar and Jenny should come back to the States. Finally, some people are rooting for this couple and hoping to see them together in the future. Please let me know down in the comments your thoughts on Jenny and Sumit. As always, please consider liking this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.